Hey guys, Kevin the Comic Doctor coming to you with another live CGC unboxing. 3 boxes to share with you tonight, guys. So sit back, relax. It's going to be an interesting show, that's for sure. Guys, I'm Kevin the Comic Doctor. I'm a comic book presser. I'm also an authorized CGC dealer located way up in Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. And every week I come on here and I share with you, my YouTube audience, most of which are my clients, I would assume, your books as they come back from CGC. I just ripped these boxes open just now. I have no idea what's in these boxes. Well, I know that there's a specific book in here because you saw it on my thumbnail, but I'm not sure in which order it's going to come in. I have no idea. Guys, yeah, not very busy on Instagram lately. Been struggling with a slew of headaches. I don't know what's going on with the season change. Been suffering with like chronic migraines for the last like 2 weeks. It's been really debilitating and slowing me down quite a bit. I'm feeling pretty. I almost canceled today's show, but I kind of got a bit of a reprieve. I'm feeling a bit better. So yeah, you also might notice this little darker beard. Yeah, that was for my costume on the weekend. It's Halloween after all, guys. My birthday's Halloween, but we had a Halloween party to go to on Saturday. My students were like, "What the heck, Mr. Polidano? You look all weird. What's with that?" Yeah, it's dyed. If you're wondering, he looks different. That's why. So hopefully my grays are starting to grow back in again here. I'm sure it'll overtake my goatee soon enough. All right, let's get to it. We're going to go through 2 boxes, lickety split. Then we're going to have that conversation because I've been hearing a lot of people talking about grading, and a lot of people are upset about grading. They don't like how the hobby has gone because of it. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I want to know what you think. I already saw a couple people that piped up about that as well. And see what you think about grading as a whole. You know, here we go. All right. So first off, we start off with a 9.8. Again, guys, I didn't pull this book. I didn't pull out a 9.8 on purpose. It just kind of happened, just willy nilly. Here we go. Where's my overhead cam? My trusty overhead cam. There we go. Right off the bat, ASM 361 in a 9.8, and that is a direct copy, and another one in a direct copy as well. And holy cow, we're going to town with the. with the ASM 361s and a newsstand copy. Gotta check these for no cracks. Also in a 9.8, and then we have a 361 and a 9.4. It's also a newsstand copy right there. And this is a big order. This is a big modern order. Oh, there's a whole bunch coming up. All right, here we go. Let me grab some more. And by the way, guys, I'm here to answer any questions you might have about the grading process, the pressing process, conservation. Any questions you might have, you can ask them free of charge right here. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button in order to ask those questions. Okay, so join the fun. Conversation's already happening over there. Let's see what else we got here. All right, we've got some more 9.8 361s, but these are slightly different. These are the second printing, the silver copies. So there's a 9.8 there. Beautiful, other 9.8 right there. Okay. We haven't got a lot of 361s lately. This is making up for it, isn't it? Another 361 right there. All right. And we're not done yet. We're not done yet. One more. Regular direct copy right here. Another 361 right there. I'm going to put this one off to the side because my stack is high. Therefore, I have to reset before I go over to my next batch. So let me just do that really quickly. I don't want to lose my... if you're wondering, I'm still behind on my invoicing. I sent out a slew of invoices about a week and a half ago, and I've got other probably 75 invoices I'm looking at right now, staring at me. Oh, we didn't crack that. Nope, I didn't, thank goodness. I have another slew of like 75, 80 invoices that I've got to get done this week as well. So if you've been wondering where invoice is, it's coming. Don't worry. Yeah. Let me go over to the chat and see what you guys. A lot of people in the chat room already. Chat room right there. Okay, Dave's in the house first. How you doing, Dave? Hoping to see my books. Yes, me too. Cool hand Luke, how are you? Winston, how you doing, Winston? David's here too. Howdy. Sam's here. Sam, look, you got your ASM 361s. I know how much of a fan of those you are. Dan, hi, Kev, how are my books looking? I don't know. I don't remember. When I get asked questions like that, it's so hard. We go through quite a few books in a week. You know what I mean? I'm not, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure. I'm usually as good as remembering what I looked over the day of, but today I did not go to the shop. I came home, went right to bed because my head was pounding. And I was not in the shop yesterday either because I had a previous engagement on Monday as well. So I'm back in the shop tomorrow, health allowing me to do so, because boy, oh boy, I couldn't even see straight today. I'm still not talking very clearly because of this stupid headache. But Dan, I'm sure they're fine. They're coming right along. Sam pipes up, yes, graded books are necessary. Next question. Well, we're gonna jump into that a little bit more in detail. DJ Nashville, Canada, how you doing, DJ? Henry's here from Montreal. How you doing, Henry? GTA's here too, lady. How are you? Killed in Kennedy. Hope you get better. Thank you. Yeah, it's been very. I tell you, man, when you have when you get sick or you get an ailment, so you throw your back out, and your back's thrown out, or you got a pain somewhere in your body, and it's just every day for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It starts to get to you, and migraines, headaches. What sucks about them is you can't think straight. You can't do anything. All you can do is sit there like a vegetable, and put ice in your head and stay in the dark, and that's it. And it's throbbing and it sucks. And I've always struggled with headaches my whole life since I was a kid. But I got a feeling, I could be wrong here. It could be the seasons, because we've been it's really warm still here up in the Toronto area. The temperatures are kind of going, by like 2 up to 20, down to 2 up to 20. Maybe that's it. I wish it would just drop below 0. Maybe that's it. I hope. I don't know. I'm getting really frustrated. Migraines are awful. Feel better. Thank you, GTA lady. Sorry to hear. Hope. Thanks, guys. Thanks for all the well wishes. Winston, happy birthday. Yeah, thanks. 53 years old this year. Adam's here. How you doing, Adam? Good to see you. Sean's here. Happy birthday. Happy almost birthday. That's right. Someone beginning to get an ASM 361. Haven't seen one of those yet. All right, let's keep going. More from that order. We have some multiple books from that order. Some more multiple books. We had a whole bunch of 361s. Now we're going to have a few cyborgs. And DC Comics Presents 26 newsstand copy in an 8.5. We also have one in also newsstand in a 9.0. And another 8.0. Was more 361s. 8.0. And then another 9.8. I'll just show it to you this way. Second printing. This might be just one box of one person's books, I think. We've got a Hulk 340 and a 9.6. Been seeing this book quite a bit lately, right, guys? That's been this book has become like the new 361 this year. It's been really popular. What else we got here? All right, we have some Daredevils. We got a Daredevil First Electra, 168 and a 9.6. Nothing wrong with that. Also another copy in a 9.0. All right, we got a newsstand copy of DC Comics Presents, but this one is in a 9.8. That's better. Nothing wrong with that. Very nice. Very nice. What else we have here? Okay, we have a New Mutants 87 and a 9.8. There we go. What's going on here? Oh, that's my bags here. Trying to. There we go. We have a Wolverine. Okay, we're just getting here, guys. 3 boxes unboxed tonight. We have some Signature Series stuff coming back from Fan Expo, I believe. So don't go anywhere. Okay, let's see here. What else we got? Box number 1 is almost done. All right. Some more duplicates. We've got a 9.0 Canadian price variant of $252. We have the same copy. Also, this one's in a 9.6. Right there. And then a Vengeance of Bane. And this book always presses out so damn nice. And a 9.8. A little tricky to press because it's a square bound book, right? You got to be very careful with that. when you press this book, oftentimes the glue, there's no staples in this book, right? Unlike the giant size X-Men or the square bound books from the Marvels from the late 70s, mid 70s, this one has no staples. It's just glue. And so when you press it, sometimes you reactivate the glue, and the glue will sometimes seep out of the edges. So you got to be very careful when you're pressing this book, and you got to take care of that glue as well. All right, we also have a Daredevil number 181, Death of Elektra, and a 9.4. So there you go, guys. That's box number 1. That's also a newsstand copy. So that's box number 1. That's a one order box from what it looks like to me. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of happy that CGC sent me their old style boxes, because I like to use those boxes to ship books back to CGC. They're very well padded. They got like 1.5 inches of padding all the way around, top, bottom, sides. And the new boxes don't have that. So these, I'm kind of happy they sent these. All right, so let's go back to the chat room. We got 2 more boxes to go. The next one's got some magazines mixed in. Let's see. Let's go back to the chat and see who else is here. Whew, it's warm in here. Geez, ASM 361 mascot returns with a vengeance. I knew you were gonna say something, Sam. Dave says, "Hey Kev, wonder if you know what the status of my order is. Thanks, Chief." David, offhand I don't, but David, if you, I kind of go by months. If you tell me what month your book was received, I have a better idea to tell you what's going on. I can say this: if I have billed you, if you've received an invoice from me, that means your books are at CGC. Because remember, unlike most other companies, I don't bill you guys when you drop the books off or when you send them in. I bill you once the books are shipped to CGC. So the moment they ship to CGC, I get ready to do invoicing. Now that being said, like I said earlier in this program, I've got 80 or so invoices sitting right there. It's gonna take me a whole day to do. Oh yeah. So I'm a bit behind on invoices, but I can tell you right now, I'm pretty close to being up to date with CGC submissions. I've got 2 big orders I got to send in still, and I've got about 10 smaller orders from last week that I got to ship out. Again, these migraines are not helping me any in getting them done. I was supposed to go today and get those done. Instead, I came home and went right to bed. But yeah, so I don't know. We're moving along pretty quickly, actually. It's going pretty good. I'd still say 3 to 4 months is the turnaround time. There were some guys I was quoting 2 to 3 months. I think I was whistling Dixie there a little bit, guys. It's more like 3 to 4 months. And CGC themselves, the hurricane put them back about a week. And I still have books. If I call it my CGC submission page, I still have books that were received in early July, mid-July at CGC still. I know that Luke, if he's here, one of his books he wanted to get signed is still sitting there waiting to get signed by, I think it was the girl who played Hawkeye, that Hawkeye series, whatever her name is, in the Bumblebee movie. She was in the Bumblebee movie as well. Haley something. Anyways, we're still waiting for her signature. So things, they when you go to CGC's submit page and you look at their turnaround times, that's an approximation. They're not guaranteeing at all that your books are going to be back in 35 business days. It's an approximation. So we're kind of at the mercy of CGC. When it comes to turnaround times. That being said, most books are coming back within the time frames that they allocate. I don't know why some are slower than others. I really don't know why. All right, let me just put these books away here, and we'll get on to box number 2. And then I want to hear your 2 cents worth about grading as well. Sorry, guys. This box has been a bit finicky. Right, there it is. 1 order down. I'll push that back. All right, time for this one. Let's start with a magazine. Let's start with a 9/8 magazine. How's that? All right, we got. Good to see the book is not, or the slab is not cracked. We've got Fairlane the Goblin. This Dave Mason's book? I think this is Dave's book. I believe. Fairlane the Goblin in a 9.8. Here we go. Where the heck's my transition button? There it is. So just one magazine there. I'll put this one away. I'll put this one away so I get started with comics now. So there's that. So we got some pre-screen books here. A pretty light reject box, a really light reject box. Which means there's not too many rejects in here, which is good. Let's see what we got. We're gonna have some 9/8 of this baby, that's for sure. Last Ronin. Last Ronin, Lost Years 1, 9.8 right there. Last Batman the Max Arkham Dreams version sketch in a 9.8. These could be Mark F's, I think. We have another beautiful Last Ronin Virgin cover in a 9.8. We also have another The Max in a 9.8. If these were pre-screens, it wouldn't have been Mark's, I don't think. I don't think Mark did a pre-screen. We've got some more 9/8s here. Right there, another TMNT book. X-Men 236, Miss Marvel appearance. 9.8 white pager. Nothing wrong with that. We got a sweet copy of another beautiful virgin copy here. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 99 and a 9.8. That's a gorgeous. I'll tell you, some of these covers are just absolutely spectacular. Check those out. All right. I'll show a few right here. That way I can get through them a little quicker. We've got a 9.8, The Untold Destiny of the Foot Clan. Right there in a 9.8. A lot of TMNT. Oh, and by the way, if you're a TMNT fan, I got a bunch of TMNT early Mirage books at the shop for sale. Come on by. TMNT Ghostbusters number 3, 9.8. There. Also a TMNT Armageddon game. Also in a 9.8. A lot of 9.8s. Whew. We have another Armageddon game in a 9.8 as well. Let me clean some of these up and I will, were these pre-screens or not? I don't see a pre-screen list. Reholder, pre-screen. What's going on with this? This may not be, I have a knife here. Let's see what's inside this box. Sometimes they won't grade certain books. Ah. They didn't grade this book. There's a book here they didn't grade because there's an overhang on the book. And I say, who cares? That's silly. Okay. So it wasn't because of a pre-screen. It was just a book was rejected. That happens sometimes. I'll have to investigate that a little further later. They didn't see any pre-screen invoices. So it got me wondering. All right. Had to check. Live on YouTube. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Let's go back to the chat room. See what you guys are saying. Happy Tuesday to you, Canada Comic Guy. Eric McGowan, how's it going? Trev's in the house. How's it going, Trevor? Good to see you as well. Dave, what did you go to the costume party as? I went to the costume party as Billy Butcher. I had a full beard. Let's go. I'll find you a picture. Look. I'll go on Facebook. Hold on a sec. My wife posted some pictures here. Of course, I wouldn't. Let me see if I can find a picture of us. Starlight and Billy Butcher. I had a full dark beard. It was really weird because my beard's all gray and to go black. This is really weird and uncanny. So I shaved it off the very next day. I might shave this off too because it just seems really strange on me. DJ Nashville. Oh, Warren, how's it going? How's it going, Warren? Oh, what's going on here? I think I bumped there. Did the feed freeze or was it just me? Oh, it froze? That could happen. How's the audio now, guys? Everything working okay? It could be YouTube. When do you pre-screen? Do they refund you the difference in cost for those that fail in a reasonable amount of time? No. So the way pre-screen works, you pay for pre-screen. You pay for pre-screen. So it's 15 Canadian. If they reject it, you get charged 15 Canadian. If they pass it, it goes on to be graded. They waive the fee and you just get charged the regular grading fee. So that's how that works. That is how that works. Somebody loves your TMNTs. I think it is Mark. Mark F. Who's not here today. He's always looking for his books. I haven't seen him yet. Nature Zen. How many weeks behind is CGC now? Mine have been there for over a month and no updates yet. Nature Zen. With me or that you've sent yourself? An overhang. Basically, the cover is overhanging the main book. So you got the main book and there's about a 1/4 inch overhang over the book. Why they still wouldn't grade that, I'd have no idea. We may have to send that one back. That's kind of, I've had them say that before and reject a book and then send it in, they grade it. So maybe that grader was in a bad mood that day. David, I read that. Good. Are they worried the overhang would be crunched? Sort of ironic for CJ. That's my assumption, is that they would think it's going to get damaged. Henry, I don't remember 53. Happy birthday. By the way, my anniversary is how. Oh, happy. Yeah, great. Got married on Halloween. That's awesome. Yeah, did you go around the party saying, oi, oi? Yeah, I did. And I was saying other bad words too. But you know what? I was, yeah, I wasn't very tipsy. I found if I get tipsy, I can do accents better. But my accent wasn't sounding very good. So I didn't do much of that, unfortunately. All right, let's keep going here. All right, let's get right back to it. We've got an Inhumans number. It's a nice copy, number 1 in a 9.6. We have an X-Men number 5, Jim Lee cover in a 9.8 white pages. And here we go. Here's the big kahuna, guys. Yeah. Here, let's play a game. Let's play a game. Let's see how good your grading skills are. Let's see how good your grading skills are. I was gonna do this on Instagram. Fantastic Four number 1. I'm not gonna say anything about it. Just gonna put it out there. What do you think the grade is, guys? I'm going to cover everything so you can't cheat. There we go. Yeah, you can't see that. What grade do you think the FF1 is? Zoom in, do what you got to do. I'll leave it up there for a second. Eight five. Oh my gosh. And this is the one that's on my Instagram channel, or my Instagram page. I I did before and afters. If you want to go there and see a really good close-up. Anyways, for those of you that guessed this following number, it's a 4-0. I was hoping for at least a 3 or 3-5. So we were quite, hey Parker, we were quite happy. I was quite happy with the 4-0. You know, it's got a bit of a crease down the center. Come on, there we go. Right there, see it? Anyways, if you go to my website, you'll see it. Nice copy, 4.0. Nothing wrong with that. But to me, this is like a 3.5. This is an old CGC 3.35. They've changed. They've changed. They really, really have. Anyways, there you go. FF number 1. We've got Detective Comics number 383, first appearance of Scarface. A 9.6. We have a Naomi number 1, first appearance of Naomi McDuffie, and also a 9.8. Whoops. We have a 9.6 copy of ASM 344. And then a 9.8 copy of Batman 475, first appearance, what's her name? Renee Montoya, right there, and a 9.8. All right, pack these guys away. Pack these guys away, and we'll go back to the chat room. See what you guys are saying. So it goes all the way back here. Henry, I guess it was a tuxedo. That's right. And your wife was in a wedding dress, I would assume. Hey, Luke, how's it going? 8.5. Eric, if you got an 8.5, boy, I think you would have been happy. 5.5. Blurry, so 8. Okay, it was, okay, that's fair. If it wasn't clear. 5.5. Cameron nailed it with a 4.0. Louise says 4.5. 5.5. Todd, Tyrannical Todd. Well, they grade comics that come with blank sheet protective covers. Example, DC versus Vampire has a glow-in-the-dark cover sold with a connected protective blank sheet cover, or should I pull it off? I usually pull those off. A lot of magazines like Sports Illustrated will have protective covers on them. Would they? I don't know if they'll grade them with those on or not. I don't know why you'd want to grade them with that on. You can't see the artwork, right? Wouldn't look all that nice. But I think they may pull it off, but I would recommend just pulling it off yourself. David thought of 4.5. Parker says a 5. Cameron says you got it. He sure did. Tyrannical Todd, amazing book. Yes. David, okay. Peter G. Hey, grading is likely necessary evil. What most are unhappy with is a manipulation of specific books for specific clients, undermine the impartiality of grading services. Yeah, well, there's that, right, Pete? There's a few other things too, but that's a good point. Dan and my grading skills need to work out. I'm sure the image wasn't super clear, right? So don't beat yourself up too much. Going to get the Silver Surfer foil of FF1 when it releases. That'll look nice. I'd be happy to own that FF1. So would I. I have a 2.0. A 4.0 would be a really nice upgrade, let me tell you. Nature's End. Hey, Kevin. Yes, graded with you. It's Logan. Oh, Logan. New Slabs and the newsstand. X-Men 5.98 and the Inhumans are not great. Nice to see them back. Yeah, sorry, buddy. I know you contacted me on, was it Saturday or Sunday? Honestly, I haven't had a chance to sit down and do this. To even look at anything up. It was you and another fellow wanted me to check something, but I will. But glad the books are back. Glad a few of the books are back. All right. Nature Zen. So what's Nature Zen, Logan? Do a plug. What's Nature Zen? Are you selling, like, is it health food or supplements? What's Nature Zen? Do a plug for yourself, because I didn't recognize you there. All right, let's keep going. Got some more great books to share with you. All right, we have a 9.6 copy of Captain Canuck, signed by Richard Conley, and this has been authenticated by CGC right there. 9.6. Aha! And Oswaldo was asking about his book. Well, here it is. Amazing Spider-Man 50. Right here in a 9.0. It's not a signed book. It's signed by, I think, the owner or what have you. And so they deducted marks because of that. And it just says name on cover. We have a 9.8 copy of The Walking Dead, signed by Kirkman, authenticated in 9.8. Nice. Oh, nice. We've got a Spider-Gwen #2, signed by J. Scott Campbell, Stan Lee, and Rob Rodriguez, right here. Oh, that was your reslab. Is that a reslab? Yeah, reholder. It's a reholder, but cool book to see. Reholder in a 9.8. We have a 9.2 copy of ASM 134. We have a 9.6 copy of The Killing Joke, signed by Brian Boland. Right there, 9.6. All right. Tell you, man, that authentication service keeping CGC busy. My plan is to have these. Oh, by the way, guys, I don't have to mention that if you follow me on Instagram or over on Facebook, I have another, I think, 4 boxes coming from CGC plus another one. 5 more boxes coming from CGC. I'm probably going to do another unboxing at some point this week. Maybe on my birthday. I don't know. We'll see. Birthday celebration with you. We'll see. Because I want to get them organized and back to you guys. These ones here, I'm going to try to sort these out as well in the next few days. These books here, I'll try to sort, and I'll contact any owners whose orders are completely fulfilled. And that's a question I often get too. Why aren't you calling me? If you have an order with, say, 3 different tiers, modern, vintage, and one other tier, magazine or high value or unlimited, whatever, I don't reach out to you until the entire order is back. So if your modern books come back and your vintage are still there for another 20 days, I'm just holding on to your modern until the whole order comes back. Then when the whole order comes back, I will contact you to make arrangements for shipping or to pick up. That's how that works, okay? If you see your books and you're 100% sure they're your books and you're local and you want to pick up your books the first part of your order, I have no problem with that. That is totally cool as well. All right, that's box number 2. Box number 2. Let me get all these put away. I think we got some Signature Series books now from Fan Expo coming up in the next box. I believe. But let's go back to the chat really quick. Oh, however, I can plug Cole's Landscaping. If anyone needs high-end landscaping east of Toronto and west of Ottawa, so Cole's Landscaping is Nature Zen, or you just call yourself Nature Zen? This is just a nickname. I thought Nature Zen was a different business altogether, but okay. I wasn't sure. What else have to tell you guys? Oh yeah, okay. Let's start talking. Let's start talking about the slabs. I remember when my old buddy Sean, who used to run a store in town called Icons Comics and Collectibles. This is going back to like the early 2000s, and him going to his shop and seeing this newfangled comic book being graded. He had a few books graded. And this is going back to when, the old CGC labels, and it was a company called CGC, and this is what they do. And at first I thought, okay, that's interesting. Didn't give it much thought. And I think a lot of people didn't give it much thought initially. But it made sense to me, especially if you're dealing with high grade books. I mean, my first impression of graded books was, hey, it's going to protect the books. It's going to protect the books from being manhandled. How many times you open up one of your short boxes or long boxes and all the books have fallen over and there's a giant dent going on. And it used to drive me crazy, right? So, hey, this will hopefully prevent that from happening. So I could see the inherent benefits of the books being graded, more so to protect the books than to actually even worry about the grade. Now, something happened along the way. Comic prices started going through the roof, and interest in comic books started increasing, and has waned and increased and waned and increased over the last several years. And so, yeah, a lot of market manipulation has been happening based on the CGC sense and how many books are out there and that sort of thing. And you see how upset people get when CGC starts, playing with the idea of doing a 9.9 pre-screen. It's frustrating. It angers a lot. It angered me when I heard about it. But people who say that it's ruined the comic book collecting world, I don't know if I agree with that so much. I think it has its place. I think, I've said this before. Practicality wise, it protects the books to a certain, some people will say it damages books, but we're not going to talk about that today. But for the most part, it keeps the books protected, and it assigns a value to the book. How does it assign a value? By assigning a grade which we can correlate back to the recent sales on eBay or auction houses or whatever. And I don't know about you, but for myself and for a lot of other clients, their desire to get the books graded is more to protect their families down the road from getting ripped off when they go to sell their collections, should they unfortunately leave this earthly plane. You know what I mean? So that's kind of, I'll be honest, a lot of my clients will tell me that. I want them graded. So when I croak, if my wife or my kids want to sell my collection, they can look at the book and have a grade and know, they can look it up and see what it's worth. So that dealer can't come in and offer them pennies on the dollar. You know what I mean? So that's kind of an insurance policy. It makes people feel a little better about their collection. They feel, even for insurance purposes too, right? They can insure their collection a little more easily if there's a third party grading going on. Now, that being said, I've done insurance appraisals for clients in the past. Right? Like, you don't need to have your books graded to have an insurance company appraise or insure your collection. You just need to have somebody in the industry actually appraise your collection, and that's all you really need, honestly. But they just want to have that extra bit of protection. So what's the problem with that? I don't see a problem with that. And look, people get burned every single day. Okay. They get burned buying cars. They get burned buying collectibles. They get burned by, hiring contractors. Hey, I've been there, done that. Landscapers, not you, Logan. And that same thing's going to happen in this collectibles world. You're going to meet people, unscrupulous people who are going to take advantage. And so really, if anybody's been burned in buying a comic book, especially a graded one, then you need to do your due diligence. You need to do research before you drop your hard-earned cash on a comic. It's not the fact that the book was graded you've been ripped off. It's because maybe you overpaid it or overpaid for it. It's like, I tell people, when they're looking for books, modern books, or even like Silver Age books, they want to add to their collection. I tell them, don't get too excited about it. Calm down. There's lots of fish in the sea. I always say that, and maybe I've told you that when you've been in my shop. Don't be so eager to buy a book that you get blinded and not, use your good common sense when you're buying a book like that. A graded book takes a lot of questions out of the negotiating when you have a book, and that's I think a good thing. Here's my book. It's an 8.0. 8.0 recent sales are $300. What, are you gonna take $200 or $100 for that book? Probably not. Right? But at least you've got a starting point, and based on what you paid for the book and how much money you have in the book, then you can make a fair price that both you and the buyer or the seller are happy with, right? So again, I don't blame grading for anything. It's a service. You don't have to use it if you don't want to, but unfortunately, or fortunately, or however you look at it, it's in this industry now, and it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. Now, I hear people saying slabs aren't selling anymore. Owning a shop myself, I sell probably 90% raw books. So there you go. And I have a few slabs on my wall, but I do sell slabs. They do go. People like them because they present well. They go on display really nice, And again, there's no question about, restoration or what. There's no arguing over what the grade might be. It is what it is. So some people like that, and they'll pay that premium for that peace of mind. And again, to me, there's nothing wrong with that. That's whether you CGC, PGX, or CBCS, or whatever the new company is going to be. Whatever. I'm not plugging CGC here. I'm saying any grading company. All right, let's see what you guys think. Let's see what you guys think. Chat window. You guys all kind of piped up here. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Canada Comic Guy. Appreciate it. I like grading. It's like framing something you love. That's why I was saying that exactly, right? Winston, when I decided to sell all my comics, I quickly learned that I needed to grade them. Grade the high-end books, easier to get most value and easier to sell. It also protects the buyers. It does protect both sides, 100%. One often not discussed benefit of slab grading is the census itself acting as a historical ledger of publications. The more new, unique items added to the census, the more complete the record becomes. True, unfortunately, the census is very skewed nowadays. You know, myself, oppressor, my gosh, the amount of CPR books I'm doing now is ridiculous. You have no idea how many we're doing. It's a lot more than I'm showing. And it's not just me. There's a lot of pressers in North America. And we're all doing it. Some are very diligent in returning the labels. Many are not. Some clients want to keep their labels. And so, you know, how accurate is that census? That's all I got to say about that. I'm a fan of slabbing, but all the good old ones, if all the old good ones are slabbed, then how you get younger people interested in them? Well, yeah, you can't read a slab book, right? I think the graded comic afford the security of knowing the book has not been manipulated. That's it. I wish you just hear others would incentivize, I can't say that word today, I'm sorry, but you know what I'm trying to say. Submitting never before entered copies. That'd be cool. Graded comics did not ruin the hobby. Greedy scuzoids did. You know, greedy scuzoids going all the way back to earlier this year to the scandals at CGC, to people that are doing nefarious things to slabs, cracking them open. Not just CGC employees, but people in the hobby doing things that are nefarious to try to sell books that are not what they appear to be. Yeah, it's scary, guys. It's scary. But you're right. I don't think they hurt the hobby at all. It's greedy people. Tyrannical Toad says, I like slabs. The art of the comics is what I love the most, and having these books in the slab keeps the art safe in an aesthetic way. Looks good on the wall, you know. Yes, I agree. Dannon, as I've come along on my CGC journey, I've definitely changed my perspective on what to slab or not to slab. I prefer to slab Silver Age and buy modern already. Slab scrutiny is too high for modern. I tell you, I had a guy come in on Saturday, and he's a new customer, and he brought about 10 or so books, and I think we ended up, I rejected like 8 of them. And I had a lot of customers say, "My God, you don't want to do this work?" Sure, I want to do the work. I want to take your submissions. I want the business, but I don't want you to walk away unhappy when your book comes back a grade that I know it's not going to, a grade that's not that great, and you're going to be upset that you spent more money than the comic is worth. So when you come to the shop, I do my pre-screening. Sometimes quickly I'll do it. I'll say, don't do it. And people are very thankful that I'm being honest this way. Some still wish to proceed. They say, I don't care, do it anyways. But some guys, like last week, his face was he was kind of perplexed because I was saying, nope. And it's like, oh, okay. We ended up doing 2 out of the 10 books instead. You have to learn, again, what Dannon says. As long as you're slabbing books that are worth it, I think there's nothing wrong with that. It's when you start slabbing books that are not worth it, or they're not worth the value of the slabbing and the pressing and all that, then you may get a hit, Now, that being said, like I said, some guys will still do it because they feel that one day the books could raise in value, and they just want to have it done. They get their books done, and to hell with whatever the grade's going to be, they want it done. Maybe one day it'll be worth something, maybe it won't. They just want their comic slabbed. I've decided to start pre-screening modern. Nothing wrong with that. Comic Book Chris says, I just read Chuck Rosansky's early 2000s opposition to CGC grading. He fought hard to keep Overstreet. I still use Overstreet, but you gotta be careful. Look, when you're grading books and when you're pricing out books, you need to have resources. Overstreet's a great resource. The CGC census is an okay resource. GP analysis is a good resource. That's the one I use. But there's many. There's like Go Collect. There's all kinds of different ones you can use. eBay, recent solds, is a good resource, right? Especially when I'm pricing out my vintage toys. There's no vintage toys, unlike comics. There's not a lot of, unless it's graded, it's kind of the Wild West. So how do I grade my vintage toys? I go onto eBay and I see what my condition is, and I kind of do comparison analysis, and I come up with a price based on that, and shipping and all that sort of thing too. But again, grading books kind of takes that guesswork out of it. So what's wrong? What the hell's wrong with that? Adam says, if selling raw comics to a dealer, you might get anywhere from 40 to 50% of estimated value, whereas slabs garnish a higher return. Less than 40 to 50%, Adam, I think. Less than 40 to 50%. I've seen some dealers giving 10 cents on the dollar for books. I'm not mentioning any names. Omnibus are great if you like to slab your comics. At first, I was against them, but they're pretty cool having all issues together. Well, it's a great way. It goes back to what Trevor was saying. How do you bring in new fans? How do you bring in new fans? Well, the omnibus, which are kind of expensive, but you know, that being said, you know, if you go to Charlo's shop upstairs, the comic loft, he's got hundreds of graphic novels and omnibus up there for pennies on the dollar. And so, yeah, great way to get your fix is these omnibus, keeping the originals safely in slabs. But again, like most lower grade books, you're going to find them. You won't find a Fantastic Four that number one, mind you, but you're going to find a lot of other books in lower grades that you can still buy and read. Jive Turkey says, worried about my Wolverine #1 getting ruined for 30 years until I finally got the doc to press and slab a couple of years back. Got a 9.8 and a huge weight off my shoulder. Well, I'm glad you're able to get that weight off your shoulder, Jive Turkey. Henry, I once bought a CGC slab comic for $2 on auction. Can't really go, oh no, you can't. I love buying slab books for like $30 or $20 because it costs more to slab the book. So if a guy offers me a slab book for $20, I usually just buy it. Why not? Tyrannical Toad, that's so real. Omnibus, trade paperbacks, and even new apps like Marvel Unlimited allow us to have our cake and eat it too. And like I said, you can usually buy them secondhand for very, very cheap. Dan, I use CLZ app, $2 a month. Yeah, I've heard about CLZ. What's your opinion on guys slabbing magazines? Stabbing magazines was the Halloween edition. Magazines are huge. You know that, Logan. Logan's big on, he's kind of starting a new trend. I think he's into the Pokemon gaming manuals. Those are really, he's really cornering the market on those. Awesome. But the big ones are the magazines. The Sports Illustrated are the leader by far. I see now we're getting submissions for magazines weekly. Hence the creation of, where is it? Right here. TheMagazineDoctor.com. That's right. I registered the domain name because you know what? I'm not saying it's 50% of our business, but it's probably 25% of our business now is magazines. Playboy, Time Life, Sports Illustrated, Pokemon magazines. Actually, even like the video game manuals, things like that. We do them all the time now. It's not just comic books anymore, right? But the magazine, Sports Illustrated is our leader. I've been getting so many of these magazines dropped off. So yeah, if you've got magazines, it's the way to go. And to kind of add to what I was thinking, you think about, cards, little hockey cards or baseball cards. The magazines are first appearances too, right? Like that one I showed there with Wayne Gretzky right here. That's his first appearance in Sports Illustrated, like his first ever cover appearance in Sports Illustrated. That book in a 9.8 is very, very valuable. So you can look at sports figures the exact same way as you can these superhero books, right? These titles in Marvel and DC. Michael Jordan covers, Wayne Gretzky. By the way, not just one Wayne Gretzky cover. Most of the early Wayne, of course, the first one's most important and most valuable, but subsequent copies are very valuable. Michael Jordan's first appearance and subsequent. Tiger Woods' first appearance and subsequent. Muhammad Ali's first appearance and subsequent. Mike Tyson's first appearance and subsequent. You know what I mean? So it's not like every month they're putting out, Wayne Gretzky, right? There are certain books I see all the time now from Sports Illustrated. So if you should keep your eye out for those Sports Illustrated magazines. It's starting to really heat up. And again, I've told the story before. I started with doing Sports Illustrated for a couple of guys down in the States, and they were ahead of the curve, man. I'm talking 5-6 years ago. And now up here, it's kind of going rampant a little bit. So you want to jump in if you can. Ooh, where'd my chat window go? There it is. We're going to go to the next box in a second here. CLC is great, especially bar scanning. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Gotta love the Trump Playboy. Yeah, I've done it many times now. Nice. Been wanting to grab some Nintendo Power. Yeah, Nintendo Power is also a popular one. Trevor says, is there a plastic case for Treasury Edition? No, there could be not like as hard as a CGC case. They may have like a top loader. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a top loader for it. If you've got Treasury Edition, you want to seal it up as best you can. CBCS does offer a grading service for Treasury size, and they send them back in a Mylar boarded with a grade, right? So that's probably the best you're going to get at this time. Nature, here's something nobody thinks of. Spider-Man's first appearance, Spider-Man 1 game guide. All that stuff, man. All that stuff is huge. You're right. All right. Whether you like it or not, guys, CGC grading in general, whether it be CGC, CBCS, like I said, PGX or the Beckett, or not Beckett, what do you call it? The new one, whatever. They're here to stay. It's not going anywhere. People want that security. No matter how much you want to complain about it, or I don't like it, it's causing the books to go up in value, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, maybe, but it's not going anywhere now. You know, this hobby has changed. It's adapted. It's not the same as it was 30 years ago, right? For good or for bad. Seen it. Was just a plastic bag with their label stickers. Yeah, I don't know then. But you might be able to hunt down a top loader. That's probably you may. Again, I don't know. The reason why you're not finding any Treasury Edition size, there's not enough people want it. There's not enough demand for it. And because there's not enough demand for it, they're not going to make them, right? All right. I'm excited to see what's in this last box because I think we've got some books from Toronto Fan Expo in here, I believe. Oh shoot, where's that one go? One sec, guys. That goes into here, I believe, like so. Yeah, I think I see some. All right. Okay. We'll start with some nice Bronze Age beauties. We got a Marvel Feature #1. And a 7.0. Let me get my overhead cam going again. Ooh, there we go. Then we've got a nice X-Men 104 and a 9.2. Then we have an Authority #1 with a wraparound cover and a 9.8. What else we got here? All right. I'm telling you, you weren't seeing these all the time last year, man. Like this is a book I'm seeing a lot more 9.8s. ASM 300, another 9.8. This is a nice copy, mind you, but another one. And a 9.8. We have a Witchblade #1 signed by Dennis Hessler, Michael Turner, David Wall. Authenticated by JSA in a 9.6. We have an Invincible #1. John Mayer's authenticated. This is the Mayer's variant cover and a 9.8. Very cool. And then we have a Venom #3. Signed by Ryan Stegman, and I believe, yes, this is my first Fan Expo book has come back. My first Fan Expo book has arrived right here. Sweet, with a great Venom label right there. Very cool. And there's a few more in here. All right. We have a Silk. #2, yeah, another Fan Expo book has returned, signed by Rose Besh at Fan Expo in a 9.8 white pager. Very cool. We have a Beneath the Trees, Where No One Sees, #1 in a 9.8. And my stack is getting really high. I'm going to have to stop in a second and Yeah, I'm gonna have to reload here. Let me just do a couple more. I'll just put them off to the side. We've got Transformers number 5. Very cool looking cover in a 9.6 direct. And we have a 9.0 Wolverine limited series number 1. Newsstand edition. Right there, 9.0. I'll pack these guys up here. Go back to the chat room. And see what else you guys are chatting about as I pack these guys up. All right. Here's something nobody thinks of. We said that already. Trevor has seen it, which is a plastic bag. We said that already. Comic Bets here. How's it going? Wow, an ASM 309 point. I'm going to tell you, I again, this year I've seen, so far in the last month or so, I've seen like 5 or 6 of them. And last year in 2023, I probably saw all year maybe 2 or 3 of them. And I've seen probably 10 this year already. The whole year I've probably seen 10 of them, which is unheard of. Maybe more than that even. It's crazy. It really, really is. So what's going on? Does that mean their grading standards have changed? And I'm going to tell you, a couple of 9.8s I've seen, you know who you are. I wouldn't think it is a 9.8. I thought it was more like a 9.6, but you know, whatever. That Silk book has an awesome cover. Mikey G says it sure does. Guys, if you're new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button and the like button as well. It does help with my analytics. I go live every single week on Tuesday at 8:30 to share books with you. I have that many books coming back from CGC. I'll probably be back again this week, actually, because I have again, many boxes coming this week. So I think I'm one of the busier CGC dealers in Ontario, perhaps in Canada, because I got books coming back almost like every few days. It's crazy. All right. Some early X-Men here, guys, for you. I know you're going to like that. And there's some more signature series coming up as well, so don't go anywhere. We've got an X-Men 102 and a 9.6. What a gorgeous copy. We have an ASM 120 and a 9.4. We have a TMNT number 11 with a wraparound cover and a 9.4. Oh, yes. Ultimate Fallout 4. You know, it's come down in price, has it not? But that's okay. We still get 9.8s. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. I want to see something with that. All right. See, I used to put this book through as a limited value. I've changed it now to high value if the book is in a really, really, really pristine condition, which this one was. So, yeah, it's a high value book. Oh, another cool book to come with these. Should be in here somewhere. We have a Gwenpool Secret Wars number 2. The Bacalo variant cover in a 9.8. Another Wolverine limited series number 1. This is a direct edition. This one is in a 9.2. Another Hulk 340. We had one earlier in a 9.6 in the first box. The third box presents us with another 9.6. They must be seeing so many of this book now. They're getting sick of it. All right, we have a Marvel. Not a Marvel. We have an ASM 252, another Canadian price variant. This one we had one earlier today. I think it was in a 9.4 as well. This is another 9.4 right there. Whoop. Canadian price variant. Let me pack these babies away and go back to the chat really quick. Cameron Summers says, I think Authority, Beneath the Trees, and Wolves 1 X114 might be mine. Well, I don't see a lot of Beneath the Trees, Cam, so it could very well be yours. I thought it might be somebody else's, though. Well, there's one more in this box, so probably yours, Cameron. Beneath the Trees, a smart investment. Has it been optioned? There should be 2 of them, yeah. But yeah, that's my order. X-Men 120, Transformer 5. Excellent. Well, I'm glad they're back. I'm glad they're back. All right. Almost ready to show you the last 6 or so books. Cam, were any of these CPRs? I don't remember. I don't recall if they were CPRs. All right, here we go. Two Beneath the Trees. The second one's right here, and the second one comes back a 9.8. Batman Adventures 12. I think this one was a CPR. I think it was a lower grade one. All the slabs are coming back with these white scuffs on them. All of them. So what's up with that, CGC? 9.0. You guys will follow me on Instagram. You saw that when we were at Fan Expo, Victor was there helping my wife Allison in Nippur with the signature series. He had a VIP pass he graciously shared with us, and took our Nippur, who was my my witness, and my wife, who was just kind of helping organize things around. Well, anyways, he gave me 3 books to have signed by Silvestri. One in particular was, was this. Well, I'll show it to you in a second. The first one he submitted for pressing, grading, and have Mark sign it was X-Men 221 in an 8.0, first appearance of Mr. Sinister. And then he also had a copy. This is a copy he bought off me, which turned out quite nice, actually. Is Uncanny X-Men 251. Not famous, a very popular cover thanks to the Deadpool movie. But then the last one he submitted, he had a copy of X-Men 244, first appearance of Jubilee, and his copy was not very good. And I knew his other 2 copies were not going to get a 9. There's no chance they were going to get a 9.8. But he did me such a solid coming out and helping us out that day. I said, I'm going to help him out. So I dug through my books. I knew I have a few copies of this Jubilee, first Jubilee, and I pulled them out a nice one. I pressed it and cleaned it, had it signed for him. Thanks again, Vic. You got your 9.8 first Jubilee right there, signed by Mark Silvestri. And I thank you for helping us out back during Fan Expo, because it was a nightmare. But I'm glad you got a 9.8, at least one of them, right? We also have, all right, it's a cool one here. A nice Marvel Special Marvel Edition, number 15 for Shang-Chi in a 9.2. And last but not least, out of the 3 boxes, we have a 9.8 copy of Samurai Jack, signed by Jim Zub. Let's get back to the past with an inscription. And this one was JSA'd right there, 9.8, my friends. And that's it. 3 boxes right there, all for you to enjoy. Herb 1211. Hey Kevin, are you attending the next TCBS? I am slated to attend the Boxing Day Toronto Comic Book Show. Yes, so I should be there. Guys, thanks so much for popping by. Still not feeling all that great, so I'm going to take off. But thanks for coming by. I'll be at the shop this Saturday from 11 until 2. Come on by if you're in the area. We're taking submissions and doing free pre-screening. Just come on by and say hello. Charlo's adding all sorts of crazy good stuff up to the shop upstairs as well. So come on by and peruse both the Comic Doctor shop and the Comic Loft. Again, from 11 till 2 on Saturday. That's all I got. Guys, thank you so very much for popping by. Hope you have a great rest of your week. Be sure to hit that notification bell. I'm probably going to come back again here on Wednesday or Thursday. No, not tomorrow. Thursday or Friday for another unboxing, because I have a lot of books heading here right away. All right, guys, thanks so much. Adam, thanks so much. And thanks for the birthday wishes, guys. Have a happy Halloween. All the best. And bye for now. Take care.